Alright, hello everyone, I'm Bernd and today is day 14 of Advent of Code. So for today's puzzle, we're in a cave and as an input we're given a rock structure consisting marked here with hash or number signs. And there's also an entrance to the cave where sand is suddenly pouring in, it's marked by this plus here. And then each grain of sand just drops down in a straight line. And if it hits position that's not empty, it will first try to go to the left, then it tries to go to the right. If it can't do neither of those things, it will come to a stop in the original position. And for the first part, we know like how many grain of sands we can drop until it overflows to the left or the right, where it just drops infinitely far. Okay, so how can we do that? So of course we need to read the file and split it into lines, and then we want to parse the lines. So our lines are given by something like this. So that means there's rock from this position to this position and from this position to this position and so on. So we got the corresponding positions by reading these strings and passing it into integers. And then we want to fill with rocks in the in between. So for that, we can just either vertically or horizontally consider all the positions between start and end and add it to the field. What is filled is actually a set of positions. So a position is a tuple of two integers, and it will contain every position that is filled, no matter if it's a rock or a grain of sand there. Okay, so once we can parse the input, we need to be able to drop a grain of sand. So this grain of sand will start at the sand start position, and then we iterate, and we first check if the position down from the current position is not filled, then that will be the new position. Otherwise, if the position down left from the current position is not filled, that will be the new position. Otherwise, if the position down right of the current position is not filled, that will be the new position. So if none of that happens to be true, then the grain sand will come to a stop. So we mark the position as filled, and then we will run true for the same grain did come to a stop as well as the position. If we don't stop in 1,000 times, we assume we're gonna drop forever, and we return false. We did not come to a stop as well as the position. And yeah, so down, left, and down right are just little helper function that give the new position after going a step down or a step down and a step to the left and so on. With this, we can solve our problem. So first, we're gonna get the rock, put the positions of the rock. I'll put it in this set by parsing the lines. We will count the number of grains of sand dropped, and then we iterate dropping a grain of sand. If it did not stop, we assume it's falling forever, we'll break and we will return the number of grains of sand dropped so far. Otherwise, we just add 1 to the number of grains of sand dropped. And that will be our solution. So we can run a little test and see if that makes sense what we wrote. That looks good. So we can also do it on the proper input, and it turns out that gives us the right solution. So for part 2 is similar, but we figured out that actually it won't drop forever, but there's another level of floor or ground level that's 2 beneath the lowest structure. And this is infinitely far. So we were going to drop grains of sand until the pile of sand is high enough to reach where it comes into the cave, where the sand is dropping into the cave. So we can reuse most things from part 1. Solving becomes a little bit different. So again, we need to get the positions where there's rock by parsing the lines. Then we figure out the floor level, which is 2 below the lowest structure. And then we told the floor level is infinitely far, but that we don't need that because each grain of sand can only go diagonally at worst. So we know there's only a finite range of positions it can end up with at the floor level. And so for all of those positions, we'll add them to the set of filled positions. And then we just again drop grains of sand. So we again keep track of the number of grains of sand dropped. And this time, if it did not stop, that means we made an error somewhere. So we raise a value error. And otherwise, we just add 1 to the number of grains of sand dropped. And we're told if the position reaches the start position, so that if a grain of sand is dropped and stays at the start position, then we'll have to stop, or we should stop. So that's exactly what we return. Okay, so let's hope that works out. Nice. So we can also run it on the original input, and it also gives us the right solution. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's puzzle. Best of luck for the rest of the calendar and see you around.